Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome to a channel update. Usually I do these like once a year these days, but I actually felt the need to do one today. I wanted to provide some clarity on why you've been seeing this sort of influx of content lately to the channel, as well as talk about my holiday gaming plans with all these new releases that are coming up, and sort of the style of content going future, what you can expect in the short term and then what you can expect in the long term. So I'm going to try to make this as concise as possible, but hope you enjoy it nonetheless. So I have to say that, if I'm being quite honest, I felt for a long time that I've been searching for this spark, this drive of creating certain styles of content again. And unfortunately, I've been imposing a lot of restrictions on myself that have, been hindering my efforts to try and enjoy the things that I love doing, such as playing games and even making, YouTube videos, all in an effort to sort of, push myself towards achieving my goals and what I wanted in both my personal and professional life. I'm someone who very much thrives off of his routine. I do the same thing basically every single day with little to no deviation. It's really only on the weekends that I sort of allow myself to just be more free form. And, this has both helped me a lot in my professional life, but in some ways has also hindered me a lot in my personal life, because I would basically not allow myself to enjoy things depending on the time, depending on the certain day. And it's become an unfortunate problem to the point where it was hindering my ability to even just go out and do things that I like doing. I made a post on my YouTube channel a few months ago where I was talking about things were extremely busy with work, and they were. But there was this considerable lack of joy in my life right now. I felt that I was gridlocked. And it was around May or June of this year where I just realized that I needed to make some dramatic changes. And so that's what I've been doing. It's been more of mindset changes, more mental changes than anything I've been doing structurally here. But it's basically what's allowed me to start uploading content for you guys. And I realized that all of the roadblocks that I had in my life weren't really obstacles that I needed to get away from, as much as I needed to train myself to work within that sort of environment, and just being able to enjoy the things that I enjoy doing. That and that stuff is important. It's important to take a break away from sort of the mind-numbing chores of everyday life in order to go off and enjoy the things that you love doing. That sort of break to remind yourself of why you're actually working so hard to begin with is something so very important. And I deprived myself of that, kind of earlier on in my life, especially for years at this point. And unfortunately, it has been sort of the core reason, the crux of why you've been seeing this channel kind of come in and out. It's been kind of fading in and out, and the content that was there previously wasn't anything relevant. It wasn't anything necessarily interesting. I was just making do with what I had in the moment, but it wasn't coming from the heart, I feel. And quite honestly, I think I owe you guys an apology, because I've been asking for your patience and telling you that things would get better in time. It's just a matter of time. When in reality, I could have made these changes, years ago, and the outcome would have been the same as it is today, here in my personal life. Nothing would have really changed. I would have just been able to cover things on this channel. I would have been much happier and, not felt that I was depriving myself of all the things that I love doing. So, for that, I apologize to you guys. I've made excuses, and I didn't want to believe that I was making excuses, because it was all in an effort to push myself further, and achieve my dreams. And I'm very happy with the direction I'm heading in right now. Things are, even just the things that are in development right now, I'm so excited to share that with you guys eventually on the channel. There's some really insane stuff happening, and just an exciting element that I'm happy that's going to be both affecting you guys in a very good way in terms of content and my freedom to do content. And I'm just really looking forward to sharing with you guys the overall outcome of everything that I've been working towards. And it's almost there. It is almost there. But I didn't need to sit there and deprive myself of the things that I love doing. And ultimately, I think it's been forced me into an almost quiet depression where I felt bad. I've been feeling this loss, this void, in this sort of hole in my heart. And I didn't realize what it was, when I was thinking about it back then. But actually realizing now that it's not that I didn't have my passion or drive to create content anymore. It's that I didn't allow myself to sit there and enjoy doing it because I felt guilty that every single time that I was even touching videos or touching games, it was, pushing me further from my ambitions and my goals and everything that I wanted. And that just couldn't be further from the truth. So, I this isn't the first apology video I've made, but this is one where I do feel I just need to say outright that I'm sorry to you guys that things have been the way that they've been for as long as they have. And I hope that what you've seen on this channel, and this is something I really wanted to do right this time, because I have a tendency to say, all right, I'm making some changes, here's what's going to happen, and then things may or may not turn out that way. And I told myself, I'm not going to make a video, I'm not going to make a post, I'm going to make changes, and I'm going to get content on the channel. And then once everything's, consistent, and once everything is uploaded and I've proven what the outcome is like, then I will talk about it. And this is exactly what I'm doing right now. I didn't want to make this video first and tell you guys, oh yeah, I'm making these changes, here's what I'm going to do, and then you may or may not see it, because I've had a tendency to do that in the past before. I wanted to make sure I made this video after the fact that I've already uploaded all this content and caught up. And basically what I'm getting at is that I've killed my backlog. Like, it's dead. It's destroyed. I am now fully caught up with basically all the major releases, minus a few. I didn't get Saints Row. I will play it someday, but I'm not spending $60 on that. I didn't get The Last of Us Part 1. I will play it, but I'm not going to spend $70 on that. There's new games that are out, right? But in terms of like me playing games from like released months ago, we're not doing that anymore, and I don't have to do that anymore because I've already played them. That's why you guys seen impressions for like Elden Ring, Cyberpunk, Gran Turismo 7, Ghostwire Tokyo, Strangers of Paradise, Sniper Elite 5, and all this stuff. Right now I'm actually playing Lego Star Wars on the Series X. I've gone back to that game and I'm playing through all the episodes, and I was just handed a review code. You might see it on screen here. I was just handed a review code for Destroy All Humans 2. So that is going to be coming up probably next on the channel. I don't know if I'm going to cover Lego Star Wars at all because I already did that First Impressions live stream. But we'll see, alright? But my point is that with all these upcoming holiday games, and there's a lot of stuff that is coming up, and stuff that I'm very excited about, I'm not going to be sitting there getting the game and then not playing it for 2 or 3 months or more in the future. I'm getting those games, and I'm going to do the unboxing, and then I'm playing them. I'm going to upload an impressions video for you guys. So I'm not sitting here playing catch-up anymore. Content that is going to be uploaded to the channel is going to be relevant in the moment, and I wanted to basically show you guys. I wanted to set an example first before actually communicating and telling you guys what is going to happen. So I hope that in terms of that route, that you guys appreciate it and are excited about a lot of stuff coming up. But let's talk about that now. What exactly is coming up in the next few months for the channel? So games are finally going to start releasing again. I felt like we've had like the driest summer ever, which is fine. There's been other games, smaller games that have come out, and I just played Stray, which was fantastic. But now we get like the new AAA stuff that's going to start releasing towards the end of the year. So you guys already know I brought back the unboxing videos, and I'm going to start doing them more consistently on the channel now as a main form of content. That seems to be my most popular content these days. I guess people just like the style of me going to pick up the game. It adds a little bit more of a genuineness to it. I wasn't sent the game or anything like that. And also, I talk about my excitement leading up to the game's release and why I was interested in it to begin with, all on the way to actually pick up that game. And so the stuff that is coming up, I know we have a lot of games releasing this holiday, but I'm definitely going to be picking up A Plague Tale Requiem, God of War Ragnarok, and the Callisto Protocol. So you will definitely see unboxings for those. I have plans to play all the other games surrounding those releases. I'm gonna play Gotham Knights, Modern Warfare 2, Sonic Frontiers, The Dark Pictures, The Devil and Me, which is the last, I think, in that series, and in Crisis Core, Final Fantasy VII Reunion, the remake of the PSP game. All those I'm going to play. I just don't think I'm going to get those on launch. You know, something I want to make sure I do this time around is that, you know, when I did those unboxings years ago, I picked up every single game that was coming out, like on release. And that was great when I was in college making money and I didn't have any responsibilities. But, you know, I just don't want to repeat some of those mistakes that I've made. I feel like I've grown as a person since then. You know, I always think back to like the Halo the Master Chief Collection. I bought and unboxed Halo the Master Chief Collection for you guys on the channel. But I didn't play the game until around 6 or 7 years after. It literally sat on my shelf in the cellophane for years before I touched it. There was just no reason for me to spend $60 and unbox that game for you guys when I wasn't going to play it immediately. So I don't want to make those same mistakes again. That's why I told you guys I'm definitely getting those 3 games that I mentioned. But yes, I will play the other stuff. I just don't know if the value of getting it on release speaks to me as a consumer. So I want to make sure that these purchases that I make come from the heart, that I'm not going to sit there and overindulge and, you know, kind of burn myself out and, you know, spend $500 a month on game releases and then sit there with like, you know, just a pile of all these games to play and I'm still buying new games at the same time. I don't want to put myself in that position. I don't think that is responsible at all. So I want to make sure that I unbox games that I really am passionate about playing and getting on release and that speak to me at a full value of $60 or $70 or whatever, you know, is the cost for games these days. So that's what I want to do, and that's going to dictate which games I'm going to be unboxing in the future. I know we have a lot of stuff coming next year. I'm going to have to take a look at the release schedule first and see what I want to do in terms of getting these games, you know, on release, and then that will dictate the unboxing for that. And I've been thinking sort of maybe on top of that maybe I can like sort of incorporate those smaller games that I pick up much later, like via YouTube Shorts. Maybe I can do like a quick like short unboxing video where I sit there and I'm just like, hey, I picked up the game, unbox it, I'm going to be playing it, impressions coming up. You know, something quick and simple like that. I'm going to have to see how I sort of, you know, introduce something like that into the channel. You know, I've been thinking of what I can do regarding YouTube Shorts because it's been, you know, a lot of people are sort of getting into them. It's been an amazing success for YouTube. You know, those shorter styles of content, and people actually prefer it because, you know, you're not sitting there for like minutes at a time. You know, you can sit there and watch it really quickly just in passing. So I've been thinking sort of outside the box of what I want to do in regards to that style of content. But you know, if you guys have any ideas, feel free to give them a shout. I also want to talk about the different styles of content and stuff on the channel. Now, I put up a poll on my community tab, what type of impressions that you guys wanted to see. If you preferred my individual videos that I typically did for like Stray, for example, or if you preferred my sort of month-end review vlogs, which is what I was planning to do as I was sort of behind on my backlog. I introduced that series way too late, and it was actually a fan who gave me the idea for it. So I put up a poll, you know, what would you guys prefer to watch? And, you know, the vast majority of you guys actually preferred the individual impressions per content. So any impressions videos that I do will be in the same style of like what I did for Prey, Ghostwire Tokyo, Cyberpunk I did it for, and Elden Ring, you know, all those like major games. It's going to be individual videos, you know, however long, and I'm going to be talking about my thoughts and what I liked about the game and whatnot. So that will be, you know, for impressions content, that will be what you guys will see going forward. I've already renamed them as well. I've changed the name. I've started to utilize sort of the old naming structure that I used like 3 or 4 years ago. Is said game worth experiencing? And some of you guys may notice I actually changed the name of some of those videos I uploaded just a few weeks ago on the channel. So any sort of content that is sort of review or impressions will be within that naming structure, okay? On top of that, I've also decided to park the longer form gameplay videos. You This was a style of content that I resurrected from like 2013, 2014, and I just don't think they serve much of a purpose anymore. Those videos take a long time to render, it takes a long time to record because it's all in one sitting, all in live commentary, and it's a lot to ask to you guys to sit there and watch an hour gameplay video where it's just me playing the game. It's not even like necessarily good gameplay, it's just me strictly playing a game and I'm just giving my commentary here and there. So I just don't think they really serve a purpose anymore. There's a much better way of doing that style of content and I just haven't figured it out yet. So I'm probably not going to be doing those longer form gameplay videos for any of these upcoming games at all. I'd much rather focus on doing better impressions and also reminiscing videos and other stuff. The only time that you would see those longer form gameplay videos is in the case of like a multiplayer farewell video where the game's servers are being shut down, I'm saying goodbye, and I'm playing through a few multiplayer matches. Like in that specific scenario, that type of content makes sense, but I just don't think so for a standard new game that's been released. You guys have also seen that I've kind of parked the reminiscing videos in the meantime. I'm not completely going away with those. I definitely want to bring them back, but I have like a file on my computer with dozens of videos of recorded gameplay that I just need to overlay commentary over. But this was all stuff that it was at a point where I had nothing to upload but those reminiscing videos. And I don't want the channel to be known as like the classic retro replay channel where I'm just taking a look at older games. I have an interest in newer stuff and I love playing through these older games as well, but I wanted to make sure that if I'm going to bring that content back, that it's in between the newer stuff as well. So I'm parking those for the remainder of the year. I will bring those back sometime next year, probably early and sometime next year, and you'll start to see those kind of sprinkled in between the more modern stuff with impressions and whatnot. Speaking of those videos though, I have two games here, Destroy All Humans 2, which I got a review code for, so I need to do a content video for that. I might just do a reminiscing video of Destroy All Humans 2, and I'm considering for Lego Star Wars as well. So that might be the only two reminiscing videos you'll see for the remainder of the year, just because these games are a little bit more relevant. But in terms of the old, like 7th generation stuff that I was doing, a couple years ago, I'm parking that until sometime next year, where I'll bring those back sprinkled in between newer styles of content. Okay. On top of that, I've also been looking into how I can upgrade the quality of the impressions video. These days, I basically just overlay commentary across a couple of gameplay segments, and I just render it out. But I've actually considered, transforming these into more of the deep dive videos I used to do for like a handful of games, like a couple years ago. If some of you guys remember the video for Need for Speed Heat that I did, I'll leave a card up so you can actually rewatch it if you haven't. I think I also did one for Death Stranding, and I did one for some type of multiplayer video. I don't think it was about a particular game. But I'm considering doing that for impressions going forward. This is stuff that I want to experiment with. Obviously, what I did in those videos is I wrote a script, and I read the script, and I spent a lot of time editing different gameplay chunks to make sure that it aligned with what I was saying. And that definitely helped improve the quality of the video, and I got a lot of great feedback when I did those that style of content. So I'm considering transforming the impressions into that sort of similar structure. It might lose a bit of its genuinity, with in terms of how it appears and comes across, but it would still be me sort of. I would still be writing the script, so it's still my thoughts. It's just sort of elegantly, put together. So I'm considering doing that, but I don't want to I don't want to burn myself out and bite off a lot more than I can chew. If I start to, highly invest myself in doing videos nonstop, this might take away, I don't want it to basically take away my time from work and take away my time from playing games, at least significantly. It's like, I want to make sure if I'm going to do those videos that it falls within the balance of what I'm doing right now, so that it doesn't feel like I'm actually doing this and it's a chore and it's a grind and it's all this work. I want to make sure that there's real passion behind it, so that it doesn't feel like I'm just, kind of going through the motions and it's just a lot of work and I feel exhausted by the end of the day when I'm done editing it. But this is stuff that I'm thinking about of doing, so let me know if you guys would prefer that. Watch those videos if you haven't, and let me know if it kind of speaks to you, a similar structure of content in the vein of that style. So let me know. And that is basically going to conclude the video, guys. I just wanted to add some clarity on why you've been seeing the impressions content as of late. Talk about my holiday gaming plans and all the stuff I'm picking up, and the impressions and stuff that are coming up as well as talk about the changes that I made to allow myself to finally get back into making content for you guys, and you know, just the all-around excitement of that. I can't wait to share with you guys what I have in store. It's really exciting, and you know, there's no end goal in mind with all this. You know, I've been on YouTube since I've been 12 or 13 years old creating content. My entire teenage life is basically, through the lens of gaming, is basically documented here on this channel. And, you know, it's just been, it's been fantastic. It's second nature to me. You know, for me not to do YouTube, I feel like there's like, you know, a void, like a hole inside my heart that I just wouldn't know how to fill. So, you know, I'm in it for the long term. There's no end goal, and I don't want you guys to ever feel like I'm going anywhere, because I'm not. And, you know, I just want to thank you all for your patience. Those of you who have stuck with me, who have been here for years. I got a comment on my video on Stray that some guy was like, oh, I haven't seen content of yours in like 10 plus years. Like, great to see that you're still doing YouTube. Like, it's crazy that people like remember me from like over a decade ago. It's absolutely insane. I mean, next year is my 15-year anniversary on YouTube. I don't know how many other people can say that, but it's absolutely insane. So anyway, I hope you guys are excited. I just want to thank you guys very much. Oh, before I go, I just remembered, the Video Game Awards are actually going to be happening at the end of the year, and supposedly it's going to be open to the public. You can get tickets. I do plan to attend this year. It would be the first time attending since 2019, because, you know, COVID had closed it all off and stuff. So I am planning on going to the Game Awards, excuse me, at the end of the year, and I'll also be talking about what my favorite games of the year were, you know, as we get closer towards the end of the year as well. So, you know, lots of cool stuff coming up, and I hope you guys are excited. And if I missed anything, feel free to, you know, write in the comments if you guys have any questions. I'll certainly get back to you there. And other than that, I hope you guys have a fantastic day, and I will see you in just a few short weeks for the release of A Plague Tale Requiem, impressions for that. And I also got some other videos coming up that I'm currently playing through right now, some of these games. So, all right, talk to you guys later. Thank you very much.